This is Talk is Sheep, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Society of BC, brought to you by Sitka Gear. Come along as we bring conversations that matter to you into the high alpine. This episode is sponsored by our conservation partner, Gunworks. Thank you, Sitka Gear and Gunworks, for investing in healthy wildlife and sustainable ecosystems. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Well then,
welcome
beautiful.
To the podcast. I think that sets the tone for this podcast, and I think it's very fitting. It was a Theodore Roosevelt speech. It was comprehensive. That was just a clip from Citizenship in a Republic from back in 1910. And I think, Greg, this reflects really accurately of the society that, our board of directors and our membership and people involved with what we're doing, we're in the arena. We're getting marred with the dirt and the blood and the sweat and the tears. And you know what? We opened ourselves up to some criticism. But damn, are we ever trying? And, I'd rather try and fail than never have tried. And I think that's a testament to what we're doing here. As a board of directors, as our membership, just people see a vision that they want abundance of wild sheep on the landscape. And they're passionate about it. They care, and we're trying. And some of it works, some of it doesn't. And we've been handed a fair share of criticism over the years, and some of it justifyingly. But it was in the best interest. It was well intended, but it was putting ourselves out there, trying our best. And I think that's one of the things I'm most proud of is the things that we've tried so hard to do collectively, and we've had many successes. We've also had our failures, and we will have more. And but one thing that people can't criticize us for is our effort. We certainly try. We work hard. We're well intended, and there's lots to be proud of, and I'm really excited about it. So I was hoping today that you and I could sort of scratch the surface on what we did in 2025, because there's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of efforts, and maybe a quick look ahead to 2026.
That sounds good. Yeah, when you say the efforts, and we do get told when we fail. It's never. We're all just out there doing the best we can, doing what we think is right, listening to our members, listening to almost anybody that's willing to chime in and talk to us. It's we can only, we're not bios, we're not scientists, we're just a group of people that care about the resource, and we want to make it right. And what we're trying, it's like you say, and if we're doing things wrong, we need to know too. So it's that's. Oh, it was a loaded front end of the podcast already, Kyle.
Yeah,
you kind of took all the words.
Well, and I didn't really prep you for it. I kind of wanted to throw it out. Yeah, and that's such an impactful quote. I've heard it so many times, and something I reflect on a lot. I'd rather go out and give it my best and fail, and retool, and maybe try again. But to me, the worst thing is not trying. And I think that's one of the cool things. And I look back on 2025, and man, we tried a lot of things, and a lot of things worked. And yeah, some of it could have been better. And yes, we can improve. Absolutely. There's no question about that. However, we're trying hard. We're going to keep trying. And it's because of the support of our members, donors, sponsors, the different entities that really, really care, and it shows. And I'm really excited about this past year. So I did my year-end or my Christmas message, and I reached out to our controller and asked Kelly for a number. And so it was about $820,000 we've invested this year, which is our highest ever. And I remember when I joined the board about, 8, 9, 10 years ago, probably now. And that number was not overly significant. And each year we just continue to strive and do better and improve for the resource. And it's really exciting when we think. And to me, that $820,000 invested, and that was the start of the month here. We've done a bit more work since then. These are really, really valuable, high quality projects, like incredibly high value projects. And there's the three that really stand out that we talk lots about: the Fraser River Test-and-Remove, the prescribed burns for our northern stone sheep, and the psoroptes treatment project. But really, there's dozens of projects. Some are marginal, like insignificant almost, you could argue, in terms of when you look at these big landscape level projects, but they're all benefiting wild sheep, and they're all with that mission in mind. And our board, I know that you guys take that very seriously, that there's a lot of effort goes into. I had a gentleman reach out the other day, and he was considering purchasing a life membership, possibly a Monarch membership. And he's like, well, why should I invest? Like, what's the benefit? And I kind of went through it with him, and there's just a lot of great projects being done, and our board takes it so seriously. It starts right from, if somebody's interested in doing some work, they reach out. And Chris Barker, who's been on the board since, do I say it, before God was a cowboy? Do I say that out loud? That's probably going to get some hate mail there. Sorry, that's just joking. But Chris has been doing it a long time. And Chris and his projects committee, they look at the projects. It all gets reviewed ahead of time. And usually it's with a lot of input from bios or professionals in some capacity, whether it be the provincial wild sheep and mountain goat specialist, Chris Proctor, maybe Dr. Helen Swanch, or others. There's a whole bunch of people that will have input on that. And then the projects committee goes through it, and then they come to the board with a recommendation. Then our board of directors, they approve all our projects. So I think it's a cool process. It's still pretty rudimentary in many ways, but it's done by a core of volunteers, and it's done with passion and with a vision of benefiting wild sheep, and it's pretty cool, man.
Man, you're just sentimental today. I like it. Yeah, no, well, we are pretty rough around the edges. That's why we have people like you and Hannah, people just trying to keep us in line and professional and making the process a little smoother.
Yeah, I think like for us, we're just executing, right? Like that, we're getting some of the work done. But the society at its core is still really what it was. There was 14 directors, and our volunteers and our members that are driving the bus for all this stuff. And then, of course, now we've got support through myself, Hannah, Nicole, and Chris to sort of help, execute things, because obviously there's a lot of moving pieces. Our revenue was under $500,000 back in the early days, not too long ago, 7-8 years ago. And now we're well over $2 million. So there's a lot of moving parts, and obviously need a bit more support. And it's and that's the thing, is we probably could do it with volunteers, but it's going to be messy. Just because we just don't have the resources available to sort of manage what's coming at us all the time with all the moving pieces, right? So it's critically important. And the other thing that's really cool, Greg, that I've loved is our charity now has really taken off. The Mountain Wildlife Conservation Society is really becoming impactful. And did you see the new site?
I did. Yeah.
There we go.
It's well done. Did you do that?
You're like, who did that? No, yeah, I did that. Of course I did that. And obviously, that a web designer would have done a better job. But if anyone that's interested in checking out the great work that the charity's been doing, the Mountain Wildlife Conservation Society, if you go to mountainwildlifeconservation.com, and it's actually a little bit timely because if somebody needs to get some year-end money off the books for CRA, of course, the Wild Sheep Society is a not-for-profit, registered not-for-profit, but unfortunately we don't have charitable status. But our partner, the Mountain Wildlife Conservation Society, does have charitable status. So if you're eligible for a tax receipt, that's an opportunity there. And we've got a bunch of really cool things coming down the pipe with that. We're going to roll things out. The first step was to get the website up and going, stood up on its feet. So now that's live. And so anyone interested in what the Mountain Wildlife Conservation Society is doing, you can check that out, see some of the projects we've supported. I think we did $80,000 or $90,000 in project support last year. And then we've got a bunch of approvals for 2026 as well. So lots of great stuff going on there. And the cool thing is it's an opportunity to sort of, get that tax relief from CRA if you're eligible. So it's a great opportunity to get your investments under the charitable umbrella.
Yeah, if you have the funds kicking around and you can do it, please do. That it's quite the deal with MWCS there. That's they have their own board. They got to vote on projects. We have to approach them. It's not just a gimme. They could say no, and it's not all directors from the Wild Sheep Society. It's a completely separate board, so it's good.
Well said.
I love it.
Yeah. So the for anyone that's interested, I had that question last week by that gentleman that was interested in buying a Life and Monarch membership. He said, "Well, why doesn't the society have charitable status?" I'm like, "Well, we tried. We tried really hard, and there was 3 honest efforts to try and get charitable status for the society." And the charity directorate basically just, they basically said, we're basically a special interest group because we're heavily influenced by hunter conservationists. So a charity has to serve in the public interest. And if you're trying to make the argument that, this is benefiting the greater public, it might be true, but the challenge is that we are a special interest group. Like we look out for hunters, and that's a factor in it. So this last go around, when we approached them trying to get charitable status, the legal team they were working with said, just start a tied charity. So basically, a tied charity is you have influence from the society. So you have a minority number of directors that are appointed to that board, which is the case. So the way it works is, the society was involved in the stand-up, and we have 3 directors appointed by the Wild Sheep Society of BC, and then the other 4 are elected members. And the 7 directors, we have myself as president, Malcolm Bachand, who is a former president of the society. He's the secretary. The treasurer is Corey Green, and vice president is Alan Dabb. And then the remaining 3 directors are Daryl Hosker, Chris Barker, and Lyle Mortensen. So, 7 names that the society is and our members are very familiar with. And they're trusted individuals that are going to do a good job of looking after that organization and any money that's directed there. So it gives people a lot of confidence, knowing that their money is going to support good projects. And if we look at the projects we've supported through the Mountain Wildlife Conservation Society, we've got the psoroptes project, we've got Northern Burns for stone sheep, and we've got the Fraser River. So those might sound familiar, and there's no coincidence there. And then the very first project we supported was a bull river habitat enhancement, which we partnered with Wild Sheep Society BC on, and the Wild Sheep Foundation to support that project as well in the Kootenay region. So, great projects, great work. And so that's a great option for our members. Again, if you're interested in that, just head over to mountainwildlifeconservation.com. And then it's got all the details there. It's straightforward. You get a charitable receipt. You get it on the spot. You put your information in, credentials, and you get a charitable receipt. So you'd have it today if you happen to do it. So easy peasy.
Well said.
So, Greg, can we sort of look back on the year, sort of some of the achievements. Like we can talk a little bit about the projects. I think one that I think is important is the Canadian Wildlife Conservation Partners, CWCP. We are a founding member of that. We stood that up with Fur Institute of Canada, SCI Canada, and Delta Waterfowl Canadian Division, and of course us. And this is a sort of a national voice for hunting and hunting and trapping. It's not angling. So such a really important part and a real important voice that was needed nationally. We've stood that up now, and we've quickly grown to over several hundreds of thousands of members. And I think it's really, really important and impactful to have that voice in Ottawa on these national issues and some regional issues as well, but have a national voice for them.
Yeah, that's you just said what it is. Yeah, that surprising how our board, we believed in it. We pushed it forward, green light to join and help launch it. But I did not see it growing as fast as it did. Mm-hmm. It seemed like as soon as the first post went out, or I don't even if it was I know our podcast post anyways, it was just we were getting messages of people, how do we join? What do we do? What do we got to do? Like from different organizations and companies. Like it's skyrocketed. Like do you know the number of how many have actually stepped in?
Yeah, it's actually on the site there. I can't remember the actual numbers, but literally we're representing, it's over 100,000 members across Canada. But organizationally wise, I think there's about 15 organizations that are part of it. So important, and there's lots of room to grow still, obviously. But we've got Alberta Professional Outfitters Society, BC Trappers, Big Game Records of BC, Delta Waterfowl, Fur Institute of Canada, GeoABC, Hunters for BC, Manitoba Lodges and Outfitters Association, Manitoba Wildlife Federation, Newfoundland Labrador Outfitters Association, Northern Ontario Tourist Association, Outfitters Association, Northwestern Ontario Sportsmen's Alliance, Safari Club International Canada, the Veteran Hunters Trappers Association of Nova Scotia, University of Victoria Fish and Game Club, and of course the Society. So really, really good. And then we have affiliate members of Born to Hunt. It's a lifestyle, Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights, Canada in the Rough, and Wild Origins Canada. So some great partners there and affiliates, and an important part of what we're doing. And just to have that national voice, right? It's absolutely critical. We've never really had a national, representative group that's broad-based, and I think that this is really important moving forward. And for both sides of the aisle, people say, oh, liberals or whatever. It doesn't really matter who's in power, because we need to hold government to account. It doesn't matter what stripes they're wearing on the day, right?
Yeah, no, and it's awesome. When you approached us asking about doing this, and we're I'm losing words already, but it's pretty powerful, and just how quickly it reached across Canada and all the groups that got involved. It's hard to ignore a voice that has all the parties. And that's I think one of the biggest pieces we've been missing is broad-based, like you said. Everybody's involved. You name it, there's an organization there representing it. And it's a tough one for politicians to ignore when you knock on their door with that kind of voice.
100%. Yeah, we start listing those names, and it was you hear Manitoba, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, BC. It's all across the board, right? Great representation from every part of the country, and a critical voice, obviously, right? We need to have that voice, that national voice. And like I said, yeah, it doesn't matter what creed or what political party. It's important because, some might say, oh, the conservatives get in and they're going to look after us. No, they're still going to have positions, and they've got all kinds of influence. It could be industry, it could be whatever. We're always going to need that voice. It's absolutely critical. So I'm really excited that we've built this up. It's early days. We've really just stood this thing up, but I see it growing, and especially as these issues sort of continue to escalate across the landscape, and it's not going to get easier, right? There's going to be more and more pressure, and we need to have a good voice and a respected voice in Ottawa moving forward and beyond. Like, you show up in Victoria with 200,000 members and voices representing all across Canada. They pay attention. They don't like that. Doug Chasson, who's on our board of directors as well, our steering committee with CWCP, used to work in government. He's like, when you got letters from outside of government, from other organizations, you paid attention because you're like, shit, people are listening to this outside the province, and you don't like that kind of pressure, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. The voice of a nation. So so it's powerful and hard to ignore for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, buddy, let's talk a little bit about the project. So, Fraser River Test-and-Remove. Just going to throw this out there that we might be needing volunteers here in the next couple weeks. So anyone that's listening that's interested, you can email me. Actually, what I would suggest you do is go to the website and go to there's a link on our website for volunteer opportunities. Click on that and fill it out, and let us know if you're interested in volunteering for the Fraser River Test-and-Remove. We might have an opportunity for volunteers coming up, and obviously we're going to let society members they'll be the first priority. It's still early days, but we're setting up for drop net capture on the Fraser. Don't know if it'll come together, but if it does, it could happen literally in the next 2 weeks here. So anyone that's interested, go to the wildsheepsociety.com, click on, look under on the website for the volunteers, sign up, and then we'll reach out to you. It's probably going to be on a weekend. We'll try and do our best to make sure it's on a weekend to accommodate people, and it'll be a great opportunity to get your hands on sheep if it does come together. So,
yeah, and that's one of those ones. Once you get that call or email, however it comes through, to let you know the net's going to be dropping. It doesn't wait for nobody. You got to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll give people a few days notice. Like, obviously, we're not going to call you on the day and say it's happening, or even the next day. But you do kind of have to be ready to mobilize. And if, for some reason you can't make it, you can't make it. It's not like you're, signing up for a cell phone contract. But you get what I'm saying there. So, keep an eye out for that. We'll keep you posted. But we've been trying to do the drop net for the past 2 years on the Fraser, and we've been unsuccessful because of the conditions, and this year they're starting to take the bait. So we're hopeful that this is going to come together. And so early days, we're not announcing anything, but if you're interested, make sure you get your name on that volunteer list on our website, and because you guys will be the first ones we call if you're a member of the society. So
it's a good reason to get a membership anyways.
Oh yeah, exactly. Don't we have a membership promotion going on right now, Greg?
I think we have some stuff happening right now, Kyle. We're drive to
Look
2000.
That was organic, right? That was so organic. So what's you have the details on that, buddy? Or
well, one of them we're giving away up to 4-person sturgeon trip on the Fraser River with Streamline Guiding for 8 hours. I go fishing with Braden and Streamline every year and never been disappointed. So that one's an exciting one to win. There's also
Braden doesn't say the same about you though.
No, it's mostly threats and insults, telling me I can't reel right. But it is what it is. And I guess there's some things we could actually talk about since it's on the podcast and not social media, but got some guns getting given away too.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So that Streamline trip that ends the end of the month here. I think it's done in 2025, right?
Yeah.
So that you got to get signed up for that, and that includes everybody, whether you're signing up for like a 1-year membership or if you want to buy a Monarch. Doesn't really matter. If you sign up, your name's going in the draw for that. So there's that. But then we've got a Life membership draw, and we've got a Monarch membership draw. And for the Life membership draw, it's a Fierce rifle. And basically the way it works is we've run this program all year. It started last year in January, or 2025 in January, and we're going to draw it at our show in Penticton at the Life Member Breakfast. And anyone that signed up for a Life Member, we've got 929 Life Members right now, I think. We probably signed up between 80 and 100. I don't know the exact number. So do the math. You got a 1 in 100 chance of winning that rifle. And so that's a cool thing. Life membership's awesome for the society. Life member breakfast is always a good time. And you're a life member for life. You never have to worry about your dues, never have to worry about anything. You're there and you're standing beside the heavy lifters of our organization. And then you're probably looking at it right now, aren't you? You're looking at our Monarch Drive.
You see me side-eyeing the computer screen.
Yeah, exactly. Our Monarch membership promotion is fantastic. So Gunworks has stepped up. They've fully donated a Gunworks package. It does say Gunworks Climber, but it's actually a Gunworks GTX, I think it is. But it's the full rifle package. It's got the scope, it's got the full setup, and it's a $20,000 plus package. So if you're thinking about joining as a Monarch, this is the time to do it. And what is it? It's a Gunworks Magnus is what it is. I said GTX, Gunworks Magnus. Beautiful rifle, and all you need to do is sign up as a Monarch. And the way it works is for every $100 you invest, that's how many entries you get. So if you buy $100 towards your Monarch, make one payment, you get one entry. If you buy a Monarch membership and you pay in full, let's say you buy Monarch Silver and you spend $5,000, which is a lot. Thank you very much. That's 50 entries you're going to get. So the more you spend, the more chances you have to win. And we're going to draw that at our show too. So amazing opportunity to be a Life for Monarch member. And we're going to reward somebody, and we're going to do that at our Life Member Breakfast. You don't have to be there to win it. You just need to have your name in as a Life member, or pay some dough towards your Monarch. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Probably.
And you know
good
what?
idea. Good time for you to sign up, Greg, or upgrade.
Oh, man. I'm trying to catch you with your whole family, different levels, but it's just not working out. But I've got three full Life members and then myself, so I'm doing okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, Kirsty you just signed her up as a Life member, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a nice surprise for her.
Hey, sweetheart, happy anniversary. Yeah,
so almost. Yeah, no. We've joked about it for a while, and then I was talking to Hannah on the phone. I'm like, hey, let's sign Kirsty up for a Life membership. She'll find out when she gets the email.
That's awesome. Well, and that's the cool thing about our membership is the dedication, right? Like people that sign their family up and get them involved as well. And there's lots of women that are super dedicated members and super passionate about it. And then there's some that are maybe not as dedicated and as passionate, but their husbands sure are, or their father or their mother or whatever the case may be, which is amazing. I look at some of these legacy families that, they're so committed. The Stevensons, Don's got his son, his daughter, his grandkids, so they're all signed up. It's super, super cool. And the Plews family, for example, it's not fair to single people out, but those are a few that come to mind. Everyone steps up and gets the whole family signed up. It's such a cool thing. So,
yeah, I know it's awesome when you have people like that out there and they're signing up their whole family and they're all involved, and they might not show up to everything, but when you get a family of Life members showing up to a volunteer thing in the middle of nowhere, say on the Fraser, we refer to the Fraser as kind of the middle of nowhere, and people laugh. It's like, yeah, but where we go for a lot of the counts along the Fraser, you're a long way off the pavement. Like you're 80, 90K off the pavement, and you're donating your time. A lot of people, there's people coming from, say, Vancouver. They make the 6-7 hour drive to get there. Like it's neat when it's, the whole family gets out and they got their dog and everybody's ready to go and excited. It's why I love the Wild Sheep family. When you get when you get folks like that involved in there, they're all in, and their family's all in, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, it's dedication at its finest, isn't it? Yeah. It's it's significant to make that drive up there, and it's critical too. Like those sheep counts on the Fraser are critical. They use that data for important decision making. You know, if they do a lamb count and there's no lambs there, it's not looking good, man. Like it's, you know, so then we're back in there with a helicopter, and it's forming management decisions on the Fraser, and it's legit. It's absolutely legit. It's not just a fun day out. We're using that data. Biologists are using that data for important information. So, and then of course it's a great camaraderie too, right? Just to get out and other like-minded people. And that's the challenge with sheep, right? They don't live on the side of the road, do they? They're always out in the back 40. So. Yeah,
they'll tease you where they live on the road, but that's usually not the ones we need to look at. So,
yeah, absolutely. So some of the projects. So yeah, we're talking lots about the Fraser here. So that Fraser River Test-and-Remove, of course, that's plowing ahead for this year. We're about $1.6 million into that project. We're really hoping that we can do that drop net this year. We're probably going to be on the high side of, or low side of 2 million. 2.4 million is kind of where we're probably going to get up to in treating the entire Fraser. We are well funded. We've got the funding for 25, 26 this winter. So we're ready to go there. And so hopefully we can do the drop net capture. And then we're also going to do the north end of the Fraser as well, with the heli capture as well. So we've kind of got that all set away for late January, early February. And, you know, like you've heard me say many times in the podcast, is our lamb recruitment's, you know, 3-4 times what it was pre-treatment. So we're seeing good numbers on the Fraser. And what that's allowing is once the Fraser's treated, then we're in a position where we could possibly transplant some sheep back on the Fraser. And we've talked a little bit about that coming home project. I think I got to be a little bit cautious on that, on how much I can talk about that. I think I think we're working on a communications plan around that coming home project, but we've talked about it on here before that we're working on a transplant, trying to bring sheep back to the Fraser from the lower 48 that have been transplanted there sort of decades ago, right? So hopefully that all comes together. So
yeah, it's pretty neat when you look at the states, and a lot of their sheep came from BC. The reason they have good world record class animals, they came from BC, and a lot of them came right off the Fraser.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be neat to, you know, get some back and do some good with them. And starting to see, when you mention the recruitment, like if you go to the Fraser counts, and we try to do one a month during the summer, so you get at least 3 counts you can go to. And when you get to the August count and you're still seeing lambs, that's a feel good. You know, the first month you go and you see lambs, they had just been born, so it's time will tell. And then the second month, you know, they're still roaming around, but you start to notice a difference in that second month if there's a problem. And then usually by that third count, if you're not seeing lambs, you know the issue's still there and prevalent. And these last several years that I've been going and we've been doing the counts, it's that August and September when we go and you're seeing lots of lambs, it gives you a little tickle in your heartstrings there. It's quite awesome to see the lambs along the Fraser at that time of year. So
that's awesome. Yeah. And so like that would be the scenario if there wasn't lambs. Obviously there's probably an issue. Could be a variety of issues, but more than likely it's Movi, and they've died off because of infection. And then that tells the biologist that they got to go back and check for reinfection, or maybe they missed something along the way. And we've had really, really good success to date. Like we've been treating now for 7 years. This is our 8th year, I think we're going into. And we've we're seeing good lamb recruitment, and then what they do is they actually go back and they do random samplings of sheep, and the reinfection rate's been, I don't think there might be one reinfection, I'm not sure, but it's very, very low. So it's obviously working. So, but the problem is that just like anything else, they could get reinfected down the road. So fingers crossed. So
yeah, they do like to travel, those little buggers. So
yeah. And then our stone sheep, northern burns, that's been great. We had a bunch of burns that we successfully got off. I think we've treated about 3,000 acres to date, 2,500 to 3,000. So really, really positive results there. And really nice to see that we're able to execute on some fires this spring, which has been a challenge in previous years. Sometimes you don't get the right conditions. And it's just a heavy lift trying to get these burns done. It's challenging to get government approvals and then get the conditions right and get all the funding and get everything lined up. And it was awesome. Obviously, we partnered with Alicia Woods on with Ridgeline Wilderness. She does a fantastic job for us and been a great partner and done such great work. And we're really excited about the work that's been done up there. So really successful program. It's expensive to get these burns done. And it's tough. Like there's not a lot of burns getting done because it is so difficult. But when they're done, it's really awesome. She's shared pictures like literally like 2 weeks after the burn that the sheep are back on them, and there's these little shoots of green coming back, and right away the sheep just love it. Right, so it's creating new habitat, and it's been really, really positive for stone sheep in northern BC. So
yeah, those follow up reports we get from there, and some of the pictures that they share with us, like you're saying, the little shoots of green. You got a ram standing on a ridge line overlooking a burn that's already greening up after a couple of weeks. Like it's cool to see the progress so quick on those. Mm-hmm. And like it just rejuvenates the landscape, and the sheep know, and they move right back in and they love it. So it's good when we can get those burns off. And like you said, there's a lot of red tape and to get burns off, and that's why sometimes we don't get them off. It's the weather conditions and the landscape; everything has to be perfect because you don't want to make it worse or have it not work at all. So it sucks to play that waiting game, but man, when we get that email that comes across that says we're burning, it's a feel good time.
Yeah, as you know, Greg, you work so hard to get the funding lined up, and you have funding partners, and quite often their funding windows for a 1 year window, and then you got to burn, and it's like if you can't burn, it's like now you might maybe secured a bunch of money for it, and then you can't burn, so and the money's been approved for that, so it's a bit stressful. It's challenging, but it's worth it too, because when it does work, the sheep are on it. And I think Alicia's reports, like I go through them pretty religiously, and she talks about, that first year, like the nutrient value is so much better. And it's, the burn cycle ideally I think is every 10 years. And some of those areas have been burned for 40, 50, 60 plus years. And mainly because of, historically those fires would burn and they just were left to burn. But because of, our no fire on the landscape approach, they try and put them out right away. And then you get these big raging fires that haven't burned, areas that haven't burned for 50, 60 years. And then they're super hot, which actually can do more harm than good too. Right. So these low, intensity fires is really what they need to be successful on the landscape. That's what, if you get a really high intensity fire, then you find that it just burns, it scorches the earth effectively, and then stuff doesn't grow for the longest time. So it can actually be less beneficial than not burning in some cases, is my understanding.
Yeah. Well, when you say the no fire approach, that's been going on for years, it's ugly because those fires keep burning throughout the winter and underneath the ground, and they don't go out. And then as soon as spring and the snow melts, poof, the fire's back, and there's been no lightning. That fire was there the whole time, and we need to do better when it comes to fire on the landscape. I get choice words, but I'll leave them off a podcast. If you want to talk to me about it in person, we can get in depth.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. And definitely a lot of the policies over the years have not been good for the landscape, not in the best interest of the landscape. Maybe they're the best in terms of air quality for humans that are in the vicinity, but certainly not best for the landscape itself, or best for the inhabitants on it. So yeah, definitely bringing controlled fire back to the landscape is a good thing for sure. So psoroptes, all right. So the psoroptes treatment project, that's been an interesting year. We got the funding secured for this a couple of years ago. And for those that don't know, we've got a psoroptes treatment trial. It's in conjunction with the Okanagan Nation Alliance. It's being done on Penticton and Indian Band's land. And what it is they've got captive bighorns. I think they initially captured 28 bighorn sheep, and they were in these fenced area. And then the idea is we're going to do a treatment program with them, and there's two types of drugs, and they're going to they've got 4 pens. They got one drug for one pen, one drug for the other pen, a combination of the 2 drugs for the third pen, and then the 4th pen is the controlled pen where there's no drugs. And these sheep all have different varying degrees of psoroptes, and they get treated, and then they can monitor them to see how long they remain. Well, first of all, if it clears the psoroptes, and then if it does clear the psoroptes, how long it takes before reinfection. So we actually had quite, we got the sheep in the pens in early 2025, and then we had some permitting delays with the federal government. So the program got delayed, the treatment itself. Now, like always, there's a ton of benefits that were had from that. Ideally, we wanted to treat them right away in the spring, and it got pushed until I think early fall is when we ended up getting the treatments done. So they were delayed significantly because of this federal. We had all the permits in place provincially. We had everything lined up, and then we couldn't get one of the drugs approved. There was a significant delay on that. But what it did allow us to do is we went through a lambing cycle. So that they had to capture those sheep, but pre-lambing or like really late. So in some ways it kind of had to be done when it had to be done. So, they did the capture in early 2025, and then they went to the lambing cycle. Of course, the lambs were born healthy without psoroptes. What it allowed them to do, because of this delay, if we treated right after they were lambed, we would have never seen what we seen. One of the things that I understand that was learned was that right away, like the lambs got psoroptes, and these lambs were walking around just like out of it. And when you look at these California bighorns in the wild in the Okanagan region, a lot of them, there's almost no lamb recruitment or very low lamb recruitments because they ended up with psoroptes more than likely, and they're just out of it. They can't and so they're easy prey for predators and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that was one thing that I know they learned for sure, is that the infection rate and the effect it had on these untreated lambs was really, really noticed and, of course, documented. So they've documented all this stuff. We've got the treatment done now. It was interesting talking to Peter, Greg, and I think he showed it. Did you see the pictures from him where, one of the hides was just like pink. It looked, and I think they were really worried they were going to lose that sheep, and they treated it with the drug, and within 2 days, they couldn't find psoroptes mites on this thing, period. Peter was saying Craig had the samples under the microscope. There was no evidence of any psoroptes whatsoever. And within a few days, that hide went from pink to like it looked like it was tan. They joke about it. It been sent to the tannery. And within a few days after that, there was new hair growing back. So goes to show you how effective those drugs are. So now what we're watching is what's the reinfection rate. And if the reinfection rate is fairly low, there's probably a good chance that we can go out and start treating these sheep. But if it's quite fast, if they're reinfected right away, then it's gonna allow them to make really sound management decisions moving forward, so that they can be effective and find a way to try and help these sheep get back on their feet in the Okanagan. So,
yeah, no, it's been pretty cool being able to watch the sheep there. We've got another Instagram channel there, the Okanagan Bighorns, which is just dedicated to those sheep in the pens. And you get to, not quite daily updates, but it's updated quite often, and you get to follow along with the sheep. And yeah, there was some scary looking sheep, and when they got treated and turned right around so quickly, that was real promising for us. And hats off to the Okanagan Nation Alliance and Peter, really, down there for us. He lives in Penticton. He's there pretty much every day. So it's a big project. And when you mentioned the red tape, we did get help. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about who helped us there, but
no, we definitely can, and we should talk about it.
Yeah. So Blaine Calkins got involved, and he got us our drugs. Basically, is what happened. He spoke up and went to work for us, and we're super appreciative of that.
Yeah, it was awesome. So basically, like we said, we're having there was a holdup on the drugs, and we couldn't proceed. We're sitting there waiting for it. So we reached out to Blaine Calkins, who's been at our show and great support of the society. And interesting enough, Greg, so this was like I said, we had the provincial permit in place. We had everything in place provincially, but then the hang up became the government wouldn't approve this drug. So, and it was done through CFIA, I believe it was, who, I'm not going to mention ostriches here or anything. Did I say that out loud? Okay, I'll leave that alone. But the CFIA was the approver on it, and that was under the jurisdiction of Health Canada. So Blaine went to Ottawa, and he reached out to, I think, Health Canada in conjunction with Liberal MP Cody Blois. So this was a bipartisan approach, and it was both Cody and Blaine collectively. They went to bat for us, and they went to CFIA and said, "Hey, what do we need to do here?" And basically help move this forward. Of course, they're not interfering. They're elected officials. They're not going to interfere. But they said, "What do you need?" And they helped move this along and made it a priority. So, safe to say that we were waiting literally months for this process, and we made the phone call to Blaine. Blaine and Cody collectively, went and sort of stewarded this process along. And within a few days, we had our approval. So, hats off to Blaine. Hats off to Cody. I should say more officially, MP Blois, MP Calkins. Thank you, gentlemen, for your work there. And we got the approvals, and off we were to the races. So, yeah, really exciting. And the thing is this project is very, very, there's a long history here of the psoroptes project. We held 2 winters ago. It was in the, February 2024. We held a bighorn. I can't remember what the name was. It was Disease to Resilience. It was a bighorn project. Bighorn. What do we call it? What was this? It wasn't a seminar. It was a.
Do we call it a symposium?
It was a work. It was a symposium. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, we do all these different events. I can never remember the name. I think it was a symposium.
Can't name them the same either. So
yeah, exactly. So we brought in professionals from around the world, a bunch from down south, a bunch from Canada, and we brought in Dr. Stuart Burgess from Scotland. And Dr. Burgess has been doing a ton of work on domestic sheep and psoroptes, and they've had very good success in Scotland. So he had these experimental drug trials that he's been doing there, and one of the drugs that I think Dr. Burgess was recommending wasn't approved in Canada, and it was approved, I think, certainly in the UK, certainly in Australia, but it wasn't approved here. So that was the big holdup. But again, that shows you how experimental this stuff was, and we got the approval, and we're off to the races. And the results have been really, really positive. We'll see where it goes, and hopefully we can come up with some management strategies. And then what we want to do is get this out on the landscape and treat the wild sheep, and ideally, the concept is if you can there's the risk of reinfection, right? It's like disease. Disease can get passed along. You got a cold, you come to me, I know it's a virus, and then I go to someone else, and then all of a sudden, yours goes away, but eventually you run into someone that has it, and then you get it again. So the idea is, if you can treat everybody, and it's just no longer out there, then we're good to go, right? And that's the same concept with psoroptes. Is ideally we can treat enough sheep where the rate of reinfection slows right down, and ideally go to zero. And in theory, that's where we'd like it to go, but it's probably not plausible. But if you can treat like 99% of everyone, it's really going to make the difference, right? So that's what we want to do, and we'll have to see. It's not a cure, but it will rid the disease for short term anyway. So it's interesting, Greg, too. And I'm just blathering on here. Good. But in 2016, 2017, Dr. Adam Herring did that project in conjunction with Okanagan Nation Alliance on PIB's land. And they had drugs back then that they tried. And eventually, I think, just the variety of reasons, I think funding ran out and a bunch of other stuff. They never did get the study completely finished. But what they did find is they captured some of these, or they found some of these sheep that were treated previously. And Peter was telling me that those sheep that had been through the first psoroptes treatment trial, they were doing markedly better than the sheep that hadn't been through the psoroptes trial. So even if they're treated, there's going to be benefit to them. It might not completely cure them, but it'll help make them more resilient and hopefully last longer. And hopefully we can start seeing our California bighorn sheep. I think there's 750 in the Okanagan region now. And they have psoroptes, they have also Movi, some of them. So it's a treasure trove of disease in the Okanagan there. But ideally we want to see, I think historically there was over 3,000 sheep there, and I think 2,500 was sort of a number that I've heard not too far back, and now we're down to 750, so it'd be amazing. Some incredible partners on that. Wild Sheep Foundation and their chapter and affiliates were a benefactor of that project. Obviously, the society's heavily vested, and two major partners that came on this past year was Hud Bay and also Washington Wild Sheep Foundation. So really, really great support from big insiders. And then we've done the Adopt a Sheep project. As you know, Andre Brosseau, he's just doing a matching program right now. So he'll match up to $7,500 in donations. I think we're probably about that $3,000 or $4,000 mark right now. So if anyone is thinking that they want to help these Okanagan bighorns, can reach out and support. Like I said, Andre's going to match up to $7,500 for any donations made before the end of by December 31st. So 2 more days left for that. And then, like I said, just amazing support from a bunch of other individuals. We've got, like I said, chapter and affiliates. Idaho Wild Sheep Foundation's a big sponsor, and a bunch of our members have stepped up and supporting organizations. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's been neat to see people stepping up and getting involved, and everyone who wants to do better, because those sheep are they're not just in BC, and that where the problem is. They're going back and forth down into the state, so it's good that our partners south of the border there are stepping up and joining in, and we love to see that. And we like to reciprocate the same when they need money down there. We like to step in and help when we can too. So it's good. It's been a really good project that's kind of uniting, so to speak. It's been neat to see everyone getting involved and joining in and helping out, and hopefully we get a few more people joined in, or a few more organizations or companies or whoever wants to help out. We'll take you.
Yeah, that Adopt a Sheep program has been really successful for us. We've got, I think, 13 sheep adopted. 2 rams have been adopted, and then 2 lambs adopted, and then we have a pen sponsor. We have our official sponsor then, and our conservation sponsors as well. So there's been a ton of money raised for that project. And so anyone that wants to sort of support, you can just, if you want to make a monetary donation, whether it be, you can donate as little or as much as you want. or if you want to adopt a lamb, it's $1,000. Sheep, to adopt a sheep themselves is $2,500. Adopt a ram is $7,500. So you can get some recognition as well. Of course, we send out this a Yeti mug with your, what number you're on. We send pictures of your sheep out. We also send out a certificate. We get a stuffy with your ear tag in it, that sort of stuff. So if you want a $2,500 stuffy, there's never been a better way to do it. And obviously, I'm making a joke there. And what I'm not joking about is the impact it has on the resource and the wild sheep and the difference you're making. And like you said, Greg, Washington stepped up and they were a significant partner. They contributed $25,000 towards this. But what it's doing, obviously, those are cross-border sheep. Those are Washington sheep, and then additionally, they have psoroptes down south, like in the Washington State region, and the technology that we learned from this, what we learned from the study, the findings. This will be used on a broader scale. Like if we have the data, we can go, here's our paper that shows the efficacy of these drugs and what they've done, and we're going to implement that strategy on these sheep and show, and if it's effective, then they can do that in other jurisdictions. So it's going to benefit a lot of wild sheep across the landscape, not just BC, obviously. So.
Yeah, no, well said. Just quick touch when you mentioned the two lambs that have been adopted. Like, that's from a kid fundraising himself, doing bottle drives,
that's
making
insane.
It happen. Like, they reached out to our social media, asked what it would take, sent them basically our list that we've been sharing around of what it costs to get a sheep, and I don't even know how old he's, 11, 12 years old, something like that, and he went to work.
Yeah.
Like, hats off to him, and I don't know if we can name him, but he knows who he is. He listens to the podcast as well, and it's super cool to have him as part of the family.
Yeah, it's Jack, and like anyone that goes to our social media can find his name out. So I don't think we're letting any cats out of the bag. I won't say his last name, but shout out to the whole family there. They're great supporters, and Ginger does a great job, and Jack is just a killer, man. Like, he's killed a cranker stone sheep, a cranker goat, and others too. Like he's just a kid that's going to be in our space for a long time, man. He's just super cool to have his enthusiasm and the support. Again, what I see about our community is the family, right? Like, you look at him being involved and his support, but it's the whole family that's involved in this, and his brother and his mom and dad, and just super cool, man. Love to see that, and that's the thing, when you come to our show, I love seeing that. There's lots of young people, lots of families, people showing up with their families and stuff. It's a real good feeling when you're at the event. Yeah,
just sucks when they're better at sheep hunting than
you. Yeah. We need to. So anyone that's listening, Greg's going on a sheep hunt this year, and no pressure, buddy. Just putting it out there that you'll be sheep hunting, and so I'm thinking you're going to be kicked out of the Less Than One Club here pretty quickly. So.
Oh yeah, just put it publicly on this podcast, and
what could go wrong?
Be a lot of shame when I have to answer questions after the hunt. So how'd it go?
Too funny.
Oh, it's all good.
So, what are we missing from 2025, buddy? Like, okay, so right now, I guess it's 2025, so this is still applicable. We obviously have our fundraisers coming up, and hopefully we'll see at the Northern or our sleuth conservation, which we'll talk about in a second. But this year, new for 2026 is our RAM Awards, and we're taking entries now. So go to our website, and I think it's under wildsheepsociety.com/RAM Awards. And head over there, and if you killed a ram this year, just enter it, because we have the oldest ram award. So if you shot an 8-year-old, you're not going to win that. I'm just going to put that out there right now. But maybe yours isn't the biggest or the best, but we're also not giving it to the highest scoring ram. We're giving it to, and anyone that's, if you listen to an earlier podcast, the one with Tanner and Nolan on it, we talk a lot about the Ram Awards. So don't think that, it's not the biggest ram or whatever, I'm not going to win. If it's unique or cool, you got a chance to win. And certainly there's a youth category as well. So there's a whole bunch. I think we got 5 or 6 different categories. So get over to ramawards.com, check it out. And that's on the Thursday night, and you got to come out. So, okay, if you're like, I want to come to the fundraiser, but it's a bit too much money, I can't afford to come the whole weekend. Come on the Thursday night. I know it's a bit of a weird night, but we've got 3 days of full-on wild sheep stuff going on there. So Thursday nights are Ram Awards, $50. We're going to give you some drink tickets, and it's just a fun night. It's going to be a great time. So make sure you get out there and check out our inaugural Ram Awards. Frontiersman Gear's sponsoring it. It's going to be a great night, great weekend of conservation. So that's in Penticton on February 26th. And again, if you're taking a ram this year, buy a membership, submit your entry. I think you got till the end of January to do it. And it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. We got a lot of people pumping our tires over bringing Ram Awards in, and hats off to Tanner and the team there for willing to be basically doing it. So
yeah,
that's
awesome.
It's going to be an exciting time, and it gives us something to do on Thursday, I guess, instead of just drinking alone in our rooms.
Wow, that might happen too. But awesome. Okay. Anything else to wrap up 2025? Anything we're missing?
There was so much that happened. We don't have time.
Yeah,
it's a real problem we have. We're starting to do too much. We should start doing less, Kyle.
Yeah, I guess that's always an option, right? Yeah, the man in the arena, right, Gregory? Yeah, for sure. I will say that Jurassic this year was unhinged. It was such a great weekend. Great fish caught, great weekend, and we're rolling into 26 at our 10th annual. And so for anyone interested in Jurassic, there is one way to get teams and only one way, and you got to buy them at auction. So there's going to be 7 or 8 teams sold across the Wild Sheep Network, and the first ones are available at Sheep Show in Reno. So if you want to come to Jurassic, I've got 13 people on the wait list, so don't reach out because I'm not going to get you on that list. But you could join by buying a team at auction. And why do we do this? We do this for a couple of reasons. If you want to come to our event and you've been there, you've got seniority, so you get first right of refusal. So that's kind of what happened. All those people wanted to come back. So, the people that have been coming back the longest, they get the first dibs. There's been people there that have been there from day one. So who is it? It's Randy and Donna DeBach have been there at every single Jurassic, and they've signed up again this year, and that's the way it works. Once you have seniority, you're in. And then if you're the new guy or the new gal, then you're going to have to go on the wait list, and that's what's happened. We got quite a wait list, and we got new people on the list as well. But you can always get in by buying them at auction. And the reason we do this is to spread the wealth. So it's an opportunity for our conservation organizations that support us. They can sell them at auction, make some money that help the wild sheep in their region as well. So we got 2 teams at WSF in Reno. They'll be on the live auction, and you can buy them. I think they're probably, I'm not sure the dates, I'll have to look. It's probably online now, Thursday and Friday nights, I'm thinking. And you can buy a team there, but show up. And it's just, Jurassic is just unhinged. Greg, you've been there, you've seen it. And because it's our 10th year anniversary, we've got Yeti as our official sponsor. We've got a weekend like no other planned for 2026. So don't want to miss that.
Yeah, it's the 10th year of Jurassic, and then it's Yeti's coming, and it's their 20th year or something?
Correct. Yeah, it's their 20-year anniversary. So they want to have a bit of a splash too, right? So
yeah, we're going to party.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So if you're going to attend Jurassic, the 10th annual is the one to be at. And we just can't wait to host. But if you're interested, you got to get a team at auction, and you got to do it The first two are at Sheep Show. Wild Sheep Foundation Alberta will have a team. Midwest Chapter Wild Sheep Foundation. There's a few others out there. We'll communicate it out as we go along. But if you want your team, your best chance to start with is get on. Go to online hunting auctions. Look up Wild Sheep Foundation, and their auction is up now. And then you can start. Watch it. You don't have to bid yet, but watch it, and then. I would definitely be bidding if you want to come, because that's really the only way you're going to get a team.
Yeah, it's only a few weeks out now. So
yeah, and there's the thing is with these other chapters, a lot of them are online. I'm not sure if I think Alberta does use an online auction system, so you probably could bid on it there. But what I will say is Alberta consistently has the highest selling team, so that's not the one you want to bid on. If you're going to bid on one, you want to bid on another one, because Alberta always, I think last year it sold for $7,500 or something like that, and which is a premium. But thank you, Alberta, for your incredible support. So
yeah, we'll take it again, though, guys.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I think it will, because, that those Alberta guys, they love to come in. And we had we sold two there last year, and we had two great teams come out from Alberta, and they did well. They didn't win. Who won this year? Who was the winning team?
Alaska.
Oh, Alaska. Bloody Alaska. Yeah, and they've got a team as well. Alaska bought a team as well. So Kevin Kehoe and the Alaska team, I don't know, man. It's what do you do, right? Actually, the Americans have won the last couple of years. Well, in fact, it's a bit of a misnomer. Last year, like in 2024, it was sort of like a hybridized team, I guess. So Gray Thornton was on that team, but it was also Riley Leuenberger and his son. They won it with the biggest fish. So yeah, really, really, really good. But we got to get the winning back in Canada, is what I will say. But this year that was the Alaska team. That was a full American team. So there's got to be a little bit of rivalry there. We got to do a little bit better. So yeah.
Other people need to pick up their socks, and wouldn't be bad to have it a BC team, but we'll settle for somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sheep Show. So Sheep Show's around the corner, and it's in Reno. I think if you want to go, you're pretty much screwed, because they've pretty much sold out. But they do have tickets, certainly, for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. I think Saturday might be full. I don't know that you can buy Saturday night tickets, but you could still come for the 3 nights. And I recommend, if you've never been to Sheep Show, you have to make the Mecca. It's like, you just got to go down and check it out. Such a great time. We have a booth down there. We'll be doing some podcasts in the booth as well. So come by the booth, say hi, and love to shake your hand and meet you. And always love it when you come by the booth. And I've been down there the last few years, and all our listeners and members that come by the booth, and we love hearing suggestions for the podcast. We've got some really good ones over the years too. We've had people say, "Hey, you need to have this person on," or "Hey, I've got this story. Would you like to talk about on the podcast?" And we've done that. So love to hear from you. Love to see you at the booth. I don't have my booth number handy. We'll share that out on social as we get close to the show. But we got another great year planned. And again, Wild Sheep Foundation, they throw a party for sheep hunters, that's for sure. So if you're thinking about it, you got to get to Sheep Show in 2026. Reno, Nevada, and it's 3 weeks away. Hard to believe. Scary, actually.
Yeah, your next few months are just a whirlwind. So
yeah, it's going to be fun for sure. So, but yeah, come down to Sheep Show, come by the booth, say hi. And it's going to be a great weekend for conservation. Great week for conservation. So
excellent. That's a good sales pitch for Reno. We'll be proud of you and your vice chairness. I was on the
board of director or something, right? You know what? The thing is I put my money where my mouth is. I've been there and haven't missed it and won't miss it going forward. It's just such a great time. And, we talk about our wild sheep family, and certainly like on a global scale, that is the wild sheep family. We've got our BC family as well, but that Reno's just so good. You just walk around and, anyone that's never been, you think, oh yeah, that's thousands of people that I don't know. It's like, man, you walk in that room, you instantly know people. I don't know how it works, but it's like even the the most introverted at heart would find a spot if you have any interest in conservation or wild sheep or sheep hunting or any of that stuff. And if you haven't experienced the Circle Bar, you got to ask Gregory about it. It's it's the place to be. So
it's where all the business happens.
Yeah, for sure. On that note, I
should fucking
anyone listening that can't see this, I just brought out my challenge coin, and oh my goodness, I think we lost you for a second there, Greg. But we did lose Greg.
Am I back?
I think you are.
I bumped the mic and it just turned everything off.
You got a little excited there, eh, buddy?
Yeah, I did.
Funny.
I was trying to look around the room for coin, but actually,
yeah.
You know what? I do.
I think there's a time limit on this. You can't go back to your...
Got my emergency backup.
Oh, there you go. I guess I'm buying the round. So that's a Washington Wild Sheep Foundation one, and that's a cool challenge coin, man. Hats off to Joe Hill and the boys over at Washington Wild Sheep. That is such a cool challenge coin. I love it. So,
that's sharp.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's a big boy too. So yeah, great job.
Probably from BC.
Yeah. I mean the coin itself, but yeah, for sure. What else are we missing, bud? What else we got to talk about?
Oh, what? Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Because there's a bunch of projects. We got Reno coming up. Right after Reno, we have the North and in Dawson, and then only a few weeks after that, we'll be down in Penticton for the Salute to Conservation and Mountain Hunting Expo. So we've got a loaded 2 months here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So yeah, the Northern Fundraiser. If you happen to be anywhere in Western Canada or Western United States or North America for that matter, you should go to the Northern. But if you happen to be Prince George North, and you're like concerned about the drive down to Penticton, come and check us out at the Northern Fundraiser. That is such a great event. There's so much passion in that community, and Northern Fundraisers are so much fun. We are drawing a Iron North Dull Sheep hunt that night, and someone in the room could be going sheep hunting with Iron North, but we are giving away a Dull Sheep hunt that night. It's a raffle, and you can get your tickets online. You don't have to be in the room to win, but we are going to draw in the room. And the guy, Cole, last year was in the room, and he won it, and he just went nuts. And that guy has won 17 things in his lifetime. He's won sleds and all kinds of stuff. So pretty lucky guy, but he did buy a bunch of tickets. But that's an amazing hunt. And cool thing is about the Northern Fundraiser, we have Northern Fundraiser exclusive hunts, raffles, all kinds of cool stuff. We've got a 10-gun multi-gun raffle this year. So buy a ticket and you get 10 chances to win, and $30,000 worth of guns or something like that. And just a whole bunch of other amazing raffles. We've got Trench. They're doing a happy hour for us. They're going to be providing, I think we're not allowed to call it a happy hour. I think I got in trouble with that before. The man in the arena got in trouble for that before. But we're going to have a Trench-sponsored beer hour, I guess you call it. That's not called a happy hour because a happy hour implies other drinks, which it's not. So, but very cool opportunity there. And just a fun time at the Northern Fundraiser. We got an amazing auction. We got a muskox up for auction. Muskox hunt, just to be clear.
Live muskox coming home with
take the muskox home. But a whole bunch of other really cool stuff. As always, some great prizes, giveaways, and just a fun weekend of conservation. We got the Friday night fun night. So it's just a great weekend for conservation. So that's the Northern Fundraiser. It's January 30th and 31st in Dawson Creek at the Oventive Center. And then we got the Penticton Show, the Salute to Conservation and Mountain Hunting Expo, and that's February 26th, 27th, and 28th in Penticton at the Penticton Trade and Convention Center and the Penticton Lakeside Resort. So we're going to do the Ram Awards on the Thursday night at the Penticton Lakeside Resort, and then the expo and the banquets Friday, Saturday. We'll have our Life Member Breakfast Saturday morning. We're going to give away the Fierce Rifle. We're going to give away the Gunworks Rifle. Man, what a weekend. So don't miss out. we do typically sell out. There are still tickets available, but I wouldn't wait till the last couple of weeks. I think we sold out about a week before last year. So don't mess around too much if you're interested in coming, because we do sell out. So Sheep Hunter University this year is unhinged. Have you looked at that lately?
Has it changed recently?
No, I wouldn't say so, but it's just like the list of speakers at that event are just unbelievable. So Ryan Holm from Leica Sport Optic, he's going to be doing a presentation on the modern optics ecosystem. Adam Foss, he's going to do some capturing the hunt stuff, photography stuff, but he's also going to do digiscoping, which I think is going to be incredibly impactful. Adam uses Olin products. We're going to have Olin as an exhibitor at the show. Kalen Wojcik from Modern Day Sniper is going to be there doing precision shooting and wind fundamentals. Ray Weens, he's done that skinning and caping stuff last few years. He's going to be doing that again. You can never get too tired of that. Adam Tangsrud is going to be there from Gunworks. He's going to be doing precision long range in the mountains. Omer's on the docket for some optics work in the mountains. Brad Brooks, Argali Outdoors, Steve Speck, and Mark from Exo Mountain Gear. They're going to talk about pack performance. Horn aging, we've got Mike Bridger. He's to be confirmed yet, just waiting on government approval. So he's not 100% confirmed, but we've got him penciled in for the horn aging. 9 is the new 8, just saying. And then we've got a really cool seminar from Women Shaping Conservation. We've got Tiffany Bader, Rebecca Peters, and Hannah Erickson talking about field to fire, food, fitness, and firearms. Kalen Wojcik's doing a second seminar on day 2. And then John Barklow is a to be confirmed as well. John's still working on travel arrangements, but we have him slated in. So we're hoping John will be there from Sitka Gear. He, of course, presented last year, and just like a must here. And then we're going to have, on the Saturday, we're going to do a bunch of projects updates. So Larissa Murdoch's going to be talking about the Kamloops study. Alicia Woods on the Peace River Burns. Bill Jex is going to be talking about Wild Sheep Foundation the great work that they've been doing here in BC and the many projects they supported us on. Mackenzie Clark's going to be doing a psoroptes update, and then we're going to have the provincial government wild sheep update from Heather Onsorge. Again, waiting on approvals on that, but there's a few to be confirmed there, but we have them slated in. So pretty epic, actually. Greg,
you skipped the most important part, Kyle.
Oh, Greg Rensmag. Greg Rensmag. Greg Rensmag's going to be in the house, and he's going to be doing Greg Rensmag stuff. The El Presidente, LFA, as we call him.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about that weekend is that Friday you got the opportunity to vote me out.
Don't tempt them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hand off the president's speech to somebody else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing, man. You almost died on us last year.
Yeah, that
what was up with that? Like, seriously, dude. Like, I have never seen a human man so sick in my entire life.
That was I've never been sick like that before.
What was it? Do you think it was food poisoning?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Was that day 2 of us being there?
Well, yeah, because it was lunchtime for the AGM. You did make the AGM on Friday.
I made the AGM, and then I made the dinners, but that was basically all I did.
Yeah. Like Wednesday, you ghosted. You're just like, we're in the middle of dinner Wednesday night, and you're like, I'm out of here. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Either I said something really bad or Greg's really sick. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, and so. I don't know what, because I shared a room with Connor. He never got sick, so doesn't make sense. We were driving together, sharing a room, and we were just after lunch on that Wednesday. I went to go get in the truck to drive it back over to the hotel, and had to get out of the truck right away.
And we kind of all ate the same stuff. It wasn't like you were eating, like, because at first you thought maybe it was food poisoning, but I find that hard to believe personally.
Yeah. So I have no idea what happened or where it came from, but even in my household, I was the only one that got sick. So,
strange.
And, that was fun. It was violent and fun. Let's do it again this year.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, that was a bit of a hole without you there. But yeah, you rallied. You were able to do the AGM and you did your president's address. So yeah, you were there. The pretty face showed up, and you were you made it there. So that was good.
Yeah, I think I walked in, did the AGM, and then got out of there, and showed up for dinner, and then left right away again.
Yeah. Well, buddy, what else we got? I think we've kind of covered a few bases there.
Yeah. No, it's just looking forward to 2026 and what this year's going to bring us. It's, our world is different. We can plan, but it doesn't always come to fruition. So I'm always, I don't know, this time of year, it's always exciting for me. Like, we have our in-person meeting at the end of November there. I'm jacked right up until our Penticton show, and we'll see where the cards fall after that. That's when we start to get pretty busy, usually rolling into spring and summer there. So
yeah, absolutely. I think the one thing I just wanted to say is that just a huge thanks to the family, like all, to you, to our board. It starts with our members and our board of directors, your leadership. Thank you. Thank you to the membership that cares so deeply and supports us day in and day out, stands by us. Like, as we've said it time and time again, I'll say it again, is that we can't do it without the support of our members. And so we are a grassroots organization. It starts with the people that purchase memberships and show up to our events and are part of our what we do. So thank you. It's incredible. You take that $820,000, it's going to be higher than that, but let's be conservative. Let's take that $820,000, and if you amortize that over our membership, that works out to $471 for every single member that is. So you are responsible. Now there's members that are obviously doing more than that, and members that are doing less than that. But if you sort of amortized it, the number of dollars invested per member, it's $471. That's a huge, and we consider our memberships $50 or $55. That's amazing, incredible. So, and really, really proud of what we've done as an organization, and just really grateful for our members, donors, sponsors, volunteers, and everyone that's gotten behind this great cause. Thank you, everyone. We could not do it without you.
What he said.
Awesome.
Thank you to everybody.
Yeah. Well, buddy, hoping to drop this on December 30th. We're recording on the 29th here. I want to wish everyone a very, very happy new year. I do hope that Christmas was good to all of you, that you were treated as well as you deserve to be treated, and if you weren't, I hope 2026 is even better. So I hope you all are doing well, and we really do hope to see you all at our events coming up in the new year. We got a great one planned, and let's start things off with Sheep Show in Reno. And if you can't make that, come see us at the Northern. If you can't make that, come see us at the Sleuth Conservation and Mountain Hunting Expo shortly thereafter. So hope to see you at one of the shows. Oh, one thing, buddy, I got to throw this in. I forgot to mention it, but on the membership front, for our youth members, so we partnered with Paradise Outfitters, again, Wayne Henderson out of South Dakota. Wayne donated a whitetail doe hunt to a youth member last year. He fully donated it, and he's doing that again this year. So if you're interested in joining and you're a youth member, your name is going to be automatically entered for that hunt. We'll draw it the weekend of the show, and we're going to send one lucky youth member down to Paradise Outfitters in South Dakota. Cover all your expenses down there. Wayne's got a great setup. I've been down there hunting with Wayne. He's a good friend of mine, and he's got a great facility. And the birds are insane, Greg. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, we should try and go down there. It's just such a great hunt. There's birds everywhere. Wayne and Diane, they do such an amazing job. They treat people so well. We actually had their hunt as an auction item 3 years ago, and the guys went down there, just had an incredible time. So Wayne takes really good care of you, and the hunt's amazing. So anyway, we're going to send one of our youth members down there and a parent. So, or if we need to, we send 2 parents down, and to cover your costs, you just need to show up. And you have to, I think you have to pay for your license. I think it's $5 for your license. It's a little outrageous for the youth only. Of course, the parents aren't going to be hunting, but the youth. And Wayne will take you out, get you shooting. And then once you're good enough, he'll take you out and take you. He's got some great stands, and so it's a white-tailed doe hunt. But if you want to hunt some birds, you probably could do that sort of stuff too. So. Great opportunity. So if you're a youth member, just get signed up before the show. So do it now. Our youth membership's $25, dirt cheap. Or you could do a half curl membership, which is $500. It's good till your 18th birthday. Lots of great opportunities to get involved. So almost
nice
forgot that
save.
One. That was
nice
close.
Save. Yeah, Wayne would have come at you.
Yeah, exactly. He sure would have. On that note, a very, very happy New Year to y'all, and thanks once again for all your support of the Wild Sheep Society. Thanks for all you do.